I would like to touch base on this story. We covered this story already twice on Mike in the Night, and we're going to revisit it because I think it's very important. Irish teacher to remain in prison after gender pronouns row. So, gender pronouns row. So, we've been covering this gentleman who's now in prison. So, let's go back into it and see what's happening and where it's at. A court has ruled that the Irish school teacher who refused to use students' chosen pronouns will spend Christmas in prison. And the Irish teacher, Enoch Burke, was initially suspended in May last year after he refused to refer to a transgender student as they, saying that it was against his Christian beliefs. So yeah, but Christian beliefs when it comes to religion, Christian Catholicism, it's other religions' beliefs are allowed to basically use their beliefs, but when it's the Christians and Catholics, it's a big no-no, right? And they'll trump against you real hard if they have to. Okay, this caused a chain of events that led to him being jailed twice after repeatedly showing up at Wilson's Hospital School for County Westmeath after being sacked. At the moment, he is in Dublin's Montjoy prison. What a great name for a prison, Montjoy, with no prospect of release because he has refused to comply with a court order to stay away from school premises. And RT was reporting this too. I think we covered the RT article. Let me just double check if this was the one that we originally covered. No, it's not. The one we originally covered was a little bit different. The report was a bit different. Enoch Burke, formerly a history and a German teacher at Wilson's Hospital School in Westmeath, was imprisoned for a second time in September. The teacher, who comes from an evangelical Christian background, has repeatedly failed to heed the court after barring him from entering the grounds of the school from which he was fired last year. Burke, who has been told by the court that he will be released from custody if he verbally agrees to comply with the order, said at the hearing at Dublin's High Court on Tuesday that doing so will be giving up his religious beliefs and an endorsement of transgenderism. Presiding over the court, Mr. Justice Mark Sanfi said that it had become clear that Burke had no intention of complying with the court order and that there was no justifiable reason to release him until he did so. The next review will be on February 27, Sanfi said, adding that Burke can secure his release at any point before then by saying he will abide by the order. So what does this remind you of? It reminds me of quite a few things where Joan of Arc was ordered basically to go against Christ, where those missionaries, Portuguese missionaries in Japan, if you watch that movie, what was that movie? Really good movie. Silence, Martin Scorsese's film. Silence. Watch the movie Silence, where all they had to do was denounce God and Jesus, and they would be free. And really good movie. And this is what's happening right now. And there it is right there, folks. And I wanted to bring this up because we actually brought this up on Mike in the Night two times. So this is our third time revisiting this on what's happening and, putting the hardship on yeah, it's really heartbreaking seeing what's happening. And somebody asked me about transgender or transgenderism in men's sports. My answer to this was very simple. Have men's sports, women's sports, and then transgender sports. Let it be funded by themselves, primarily funded by themselves and their viewers and the advertising and all that. And let them do just like the women's sports do, the men's sports do, and just have a transgender baseball league, transgender hockey league, transgender. And again, provided it's not funded by taxpayers or public sector is funding it to go forward, it's actually being funded by people of interest that want to support this and actually want to fund and advertise for it, right? A Disney would advertise for it. Like, you'd have a lot of companies that would jump on board. So I think, quite frankly, Just have a transgender basketball league. Problem solved. You have women, men, and transgender. Then you don't have to fight over this and that and sports and that. And that's it. Problem solved. But it's got to be funded on its own. It can't be funded by public sector or governments, right?